Good morning, good evening, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you might be doing. We wish to welcome you to the Silverlight Show. The silverlight shines to illuminate that which lies hidden in darkness. For those of you tuning in today, we welcome you in. Boy, it's been bumpered, a bumper week really for intolerance. Let's start off at the beginning. Garth Brooks. Yeah, the singer Garth Brooks. No real opinion on him. I've never owned any of his albums. The same token, if something comes on the radio, I won't change the station. Well, he's recently opened a bar. And his official announcement was, leave your hate outside. If you come here, you'll be an inclusive atmosphere and I want to make sure there's no discrimination. And people are attacking him. Like, guns ablaze, they're going after him. Oh, you're opening a gay bar and this, that, the other thing. And he's just trying to open a place where people can be themselves. Imagine any other bartender in the world says, hey, want you to come in, have a good time. And at the same token, leave your hate outside. Would anybody get that reaction? No. But Garth Brooks is, because he's trying to be inclusive and making no secret of it. It's hard to believe somebody of his stature is dealing with stuff that was already solved in the 1970s. And unfortunately, he's not the only one. Up here in the Great White North, there was an incident at what I believe was a soccer game. And in it, one of the soccer parents, we're going to say, decided that they were not satisfied that one of the girls on the team had been born a girl and demanded identification. Like, really? The stones on that one, and that's not to be admired. That's hideous and disgusting that anybody in the world might think that. And worst off, ask for proof. I know a couple people who've gone through the surgery, and honestly, I'd like to know what documentation anybody's looking for. You want to see their birth certificate? Yeah, because everybody just keeps their birth certificate on them. Do you want to see medical records for what? And this kid was 9, 10 years old, and I can tell you there's a lot of body sensitivity in that area. There's a lot of social sensibility in that area. Remember, these kids are just figuring out what social circles are, where they belong, who's popular, who isn't, etc., etc. So for anybody, maybe this girl is a bit big for her age, maybe she's exceptionally athletic, but we've had exceptionally athletic women before. It doesn't take very long on YouTube or Instagram, whatever it is, to find some woman who competes in, say, the Scottish Games, or is an amateur wrestler. And yeah, a lot. I'm not a small guy. I'm 6'3", but a lot of these women, I have no question, could easily kick my butt, and they're genetically female. 100%. And if I walked up to them and demanded to see their birth certificate, the only question is, which of my bones would be broken? That would be the only question that would matter at that point. Because it's insulting as hell. Whether they have transitioned or not transitioned, you're calling that person out. You have become a bully. A lot of people ask why the Olympics don't simply test for X and Y chromosomes. And the reason is because life isn't that simple. There's more than just X and Y chromosome that determine sex. Yes, they're at the base of everything, but they're not the be-all and end-all. You can have XXYs, YYX. There's all sorts of combinations that could come in there. And like I said, it is possible to be... This happened back in the 1960s. There's an Olympic athlete, I forget what sport, because I only read through this, said, oh, neat, and filed it at the back of my brain, and it's coming out now. And even though she was born female, she had I think it was XXY. So she was genetically a little stronger, a little faster, a little more everything. And when the Olympics couldn't decide to label her as male or female, they just defaulted and they said, okay, she's competed as a female for however long in her life she was at that point, and let it be. Because what are you going to do? Medical science can't predict this. Yep, we all learn about the X and Y in high school, but we don't learn all the other permutations and possibilities. There is the interesting question of hermaphrodites, people who are born with both sexes. Now, in the past, usually their parents would pick for them. And you want to know what? Usually they pick the boy. Just because that's the way our society has always been. Actually, almost all societies are like that. I shouldn't pick on us. And that's why we're seeing a lot of these trans operations going on, is these people who had their choice taken away from them are now suddenly realizing, hey, I've felt different my whole life. This is not who I am as a person. The only way for us not to be unbelievably horrible human beings is to accept them the way that they choose to present themselves. Yeah, when my one friend went through surgery, how am I going to put this? It was very painfully evident at first that they were transitioning. But you know what? That was because in the 1990s, and the technology is a hell of a lot better now. And I'd like to say that she looks exactly the way somebody would suspect right now. There would be no, oh, let me check your birth certificate kind of thing. And I still would love to know who, in their right mind, would ask to check somebody else's birth certificate. I'm not a cop. I got no authority. And I can tell you the forms that I filled out so that my kid could go to summer camp never asked for a birth certificate. They said, your child is male or female? Female. How old are they? Etc., etc., etc. Never once did it address any of those. You know why? Because the government isn't stupid. And if they had that category, they'd probably get your butts chewed off by every special interest organization on the planet. So if the government's not comfortable, what the hell makes me think I'm comfortable? We live in the interesting times that the ancient Chinese proverb talked about. And it's supposedly a curse. It isn't. It is a blessing. It's an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to expand your horizons. It's an opportunity to question. And the Q is questioning, is part of the LGBTQIQ2S. I don't want to call it a spectrum. It sounds like a disorder, but it's part of that group of people. Now, does that mean I'm questioning myself sexually? No. What it means is I'm giving myself the freedom to question what I've been taught in my whole life. Hey, I was born in the 70s. That good old black and white film, Billy didn't know, but there was something wrong with his new friend Daryl. He was a gay. Really? You watch this stuff in the modern times, it's like, this is when peace and love and harmony were the catchwords of the day, and they're filming this crap? So yeah, not questioning my sexuality and questioning how I can go forward in this world and be a better person. Now, you can react to this news any way you want. Maybe you're going to throw a fit and hop on Twitter and roast Garth Brooks with everybody else. You know what? It's kind of your right. I'm not. Maybe you want to get on your soccer team and yell at the one little kid who's better than anybody else. When I was playing when I was playing university football, there was a guy who was better than everybody else. He was just a little bit quicker, a little bit more maneuverable. He could catch anything you threw his way. He was just that damn good. And we were also like, this guy's incredible. You know what? Never questioned his sexuality. Never questioned anything about him. The only question I ask is, hey, I'm buying the next picture. What do you want? That's the only thing we question him about. Good guy. We've lost track because, as people do after many years, but I know he didn't play professionally, but he was still really darned good. Nowadays, can you imagine if I went up to him and asked for his birth certificate? Because I want to check out that he's not one of those genetically modified supermen from Star Trek. That's how ridiculous it is to go after a child, a 9 to 10-year-old child, and ask that question. If you don't want to go to Garth Brooks' bar, don't go to it. It's that easy. Like I said, I'd personally go for the spectacle. I want to see what he thinks a bar will be like, and then let's see if he's successful or not. Not particularly socially in a bar. I like to sit with my friends and have some chicken wings and beer. And he's going to sell Bud Light. Did you know that this whole boycott of Bud Light has made Mexican beer become the #1 selling beer in America? Yeah, figure that one out. No matter. Budweiser's swill anyways, but when you're in Rome, do as the Romans do. With that, I think we'll bring this show to a close. We thank you for joining us on the Silverlight Show. If you like this show, please click the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. Won't be any link down in the comment. I'm going to get back to that, just not today. And hopefully you have a great day.